Have you ever wanted to make your own melt and pour soaps that look so cute you could eat them?
Today we're going to teach you how to make your own soap frosting and hand molded soap decorations.
Hi, I'm Katie from Simply Earth.
And I'm Tessa.
And today we are teaching you how to make our Lemon Drop Soap Cupcake recipe.
This recipe features melt and pour soap,
yellow gold mica powder,
and lemon and frankincense essential oils.
It smells beautifully lemony and looks so cute when you're finished.
So turn off distractions because making is healing.
Let's make it. For the base of our cupcake, we are going to use 18 ounces of our melt and pour soap base. And I've already cut this up into cubes. That's gonna help it melt evenly in the microwave because it's really easy to overheat melt and pour soap. So we're gonna melt this down, and you can do this in the microwave using 30-second intervals and stirring in between, or on a double boiler.
Now that this is melted, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of yellow gold mica powder for that lovely lemon look.
For our essential oils, we're going to be adding frankincense and lemon. These essential oils are really great for the skin. They're also going to create a sweet lemony aroma together. That's perfect for this soap. I'll be adding 75 drops of frankincense, which is the same as 3/4 of a teaspoon if you don't want to count out all the drops, and 135 drops of lemon essential oil. So now we're going to pour this into our mold.
It's normal for little bubbles to form on the top of melt and pour soap base. So one way to get rid of those bubbles is to just spray it with some isopropyl alcohol.
So we're gonna let this cool, and we're gonna move on to our little handmade soap embeds that are gonna top our soaps. For our moldable soap that we're going to use to make our embeds, we will need 6 ounces of shea butter melt and pour soap base that I've already chopped up into 1-inch cubes.
We'll need 4 tablespoons of cornstarch.
And you can color this whatever color you want. We're gonna go with yellow to go with our yellow theme. So we're gonna add about 1 teaspoon of yellow gold mica powder. You can add more or less to get the desired color you'd like. So we're gonna melt this in the microwave using 30-second intervals, stirring in between. You can also melt it on a double boiler. Keep an eye on it because you don't want it to overheat. For our soap embeds, we've got our melted soap, and we are going to add about 1 teaspoon of yellow gold mica powder. I'm just gonna eyeball this and stir it in really well. Mica powder has a tendency to clump.
So you're gonna pour the cornstarch in a little bit at a time while stirring so it doesn't clump.
The cornstarch is what's gonna make this be a moldable dough. It's going to cool and harden as we work with it, so you do have a limited amount of time as you're making this. If it starts to solidify too much while you're making it, you can remelt it and start again. Now you're gonna wanna stir this as it cools until it's a moldable dough. And the soap is quite hot right now. You don't want to touch it with your hands right now. You want it to cool down a bit before you do that. If your soap was quite hot when you added the cornstarch, you can use an ice bath to help quicken up this process. All right, the mixture has cooled into this kind of Play-Doh-like texture. So we're gonna put it out on our placemat and start molding it. So we have our soap dough, and now we can mold it however we want. We're gonna make little toppings for our lemon drop cupcakes. So we can kind of experiment with some different things. We can roll it into a ball like a lemon drop.
Another fun option is to roll it flat or press it flat and then take a straw. I recommend the thick plastic smoothie straws. Punch it till you have a small stack of them in there, and then blow it out into a bowl to get fun little sprinkles.
You could also mold this into hearts, whatever you wanted. You can use cookie cutters with this. I'm gonna make sure that we have 12 little lemon drop shape to top our cupcakes, but we can try other shapes too. And maybe we'll change our mind on what we want to top it with. So we have our little embeds that are gonna go on top of our soap, and now we're gonna make our soap frosting while this cools. To make our frosting, we are going to use 3 ounces of melt and pour soap.
We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of SCI, which creates a ton of fun bubbles in the water.
And we're also going to be adding 2/3 cup of water. We're gonna bring this to a boil and then let it cool down. So we have an ice bath for it to help speed up the process. So I've tested a bunch of different frosting recipes, and this one, even though we've got to boil the ingredients together, which is kind of an extra step compared to other recipes, it was much easier to pipe, and it creates really fun bubbles in the water is another reason I love it. One thing to note is I did try this recipe just melting everything together in the microwave, and it didn't work well. You do need to bring it to a boil in order for this recipe to work. So this has come to a boil. We're gonna take it off the heat and put it in our ice bath to rapidly cool. So as it cools, it's gonna thicken, and you're gonna wanna look for it to thicken into a frosting-like consistency. Then we're gonna put it into a piping bag and pipe it onto our soaps. As we pipe it, it is gonna get harder, so you have a limited amount of time to pipe the soap. You can bring it to a boil again and repeat the process.
If you notice the soap hardening in the piping bag as you're piping, you can roll the piping bag between your hands a little bit and it will help make the soap softer.
While the soap frosting is still soft, it is going to get hard. Not as hard as the soap on the bottom, but it'll be quite hard, too hard to mold or work with. We're gonna add our toppings. So you can put one on top like so. You can play around with adding more than one if you've created other shapes. So the frosting is gonna take about 12 hours or so to totally set up. It will start getting harder, and then it will continue to get hard. And in the end, you'll have something like this.
Kids love getting involved in the decorating part of this DIY.
If you're interested in making this recipe, I've linked the ingredients below. Hopefully this video inspires you to make your own soap dough and soap frosting. And if you make some soap, please take a picture and share it on social media with hashtag I made this and tag from Simply Earth. I've linked the ingredients and recipe down below in the description of this video.
Check out our other soap videos we've made right after this.
That was beautifully combined. I love it. Yes!